Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Game Programming. This is the request that came through on Facebook, and the person requested that I assist with the project that they were given actually. Um, I believe the person is in a group of four, and then he just uh, forwarded the invite to me also to assist with the project itself. So I'm back on Eclipse, and then I've just created a new um, folder or a Java project. I named it Game Programming. So without wasting time, okay, on this episode, we're just gonna create our own window, like the main window. Just hold on. Okay, in Java, um, like on the graphical user interface, like what you see, like the main screen, we call it a window in Java, right? And then from the Java API itself, this window is called JFrame. JFrame. Oh, my spelling is bad. Okay, no, that's just hold on. Yeah, JFrame. So you can imagine this is a window, like the normal window that you guys have, right? You've got a frame and then you've got the panels inside, um, like window panels. Then you've got your glass inside the panels itself. So this is the same thing that happens on Java. Well, what I'm gonna do right now is to create the JFrame, like the main frame of the game. Guys, for those who don't remember what game we are working on, I'm just gonna show you a clip here. Okay, it's taking a bit of time. Okay, the name of the game is called Battle City. It's an old game. Okay, yeah, this is the game. So this is basically a 2D
Don't
game.
let the machine control you. You have to control the machine.
Okay, as you can see, we've got a frame here. Like, if you can see my cursor, like I've got a frame, and then inside the frames, I've got the panels and so on. So the first thing that we're gonna do today is to create the frame itself, right? So I'm just gonna go back to my Eclipse, my game programming folder, and then I'm gonna create a new class. I'll name it. Let me just name it. Yeah, Battle City. This is gonna be the main game, and I'm gonna put the main method. Guys, remember from my previous episode where I was assisting with the load-to generating application, I specified that the main method is needed if you're gonna run your Java game. Like if the code that you are writing for an object or a class, if that class is gonna be the main one where you're gonna run your code, then you're gonna need a main method. And whatever code that you put inside a main method, that's the code that's gonna execute, right? So now let's start with creating our JFrame. What I will do is to create, because firstly I need to know the width and the height of the frame. I'm just gonna define it with a public modifier, and this is gonna be a static because I don't want it to change, and also I wanna access this width or height from any other object that I'm gonna create or a class that I'm gonna create, right? So I'm just gonna say public static integer. I'll name it width equals to, let's say, 800 in this case. Then we do the same for height. I'm just gonna capitalize it, height, and also For the game title, in Java, if you're gonna create a variable with a string or alphabets, you actually gonna use a type called string, and then I'm gonna name it title battle. Oops, let's say version 1.0 is fine. Let me just make it static also, because I want it to be accessed from any other class, right? And then let's work on our JFrame. I'm gonna create a variable from JFrame itself, and then on the constructor I'm not gonna put anything. Then a JFrame is an object itself from the Java API, right? So I need to import the same. So you can do it manually, like write the import statement here, or on Eclipse itself you can just click on that one, import. So let me explain on what happened here. Okay, here I've created a variable of a JFrame. So whenever I run my code, because this is inside the main method, my JFrame is gonna be the first thing that's gonna be created. Actually, it's like I'm creating a frame here. Then I can use this variable that I've named frame with a lowercase. I'm gonna use it to set my arguments and so on, like to set the whole frame on what I want on the same frame. So what I'm gonna do again is that, like, if you have a frame and then you wanna put something inside the frame, you need what we call a panel, right? Or a canvas or a component. You need something that is called a component. You need a class actually that is I don't know how to explain, a class that is a component in order to edit on a frame. So what I'm gonna do is that on my main class here, Battle City, I'm gonna turn this thing into a component. What I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna extend canvas. Canvas is more like how do I explain it? It's like it's a blank board, right? A blank whiteboard. You can put it inside a JFrame itself or a frame, and then you can draw whatever you want. So I'm gonna extend my class with canvas, or you can put a JPanel, anything that you want. Then from there I'm gonna add that canvas on my frame itself. Okay, let me just instantiate my object. Battle City minute game because what Battle City here? Guys, here we're not gonna use any game engine like OpenGL and so on. So we're just gonna use the pure Java API or pure Java libraries. Let me just put it like that, right? So here what I just did is that I've taken my game, which is a component right now, and I've put it inside the frame itself. Guys, the main method itself, okay, to make it this easy, I can create the main method from another class so that you guys won't be confused or so. I'm gonna cut everything from the main method itself. On the same package, I'll create a class. I'll name it run game. Yeah, let me just run game, right? right? So okay, we've included our game on the frame itself. So right now we can start working on the frame. So what I'm gonna do, because I don't want, okay, let me set the size of my frame. Set size, you can use set size, and then for width, I want to access this width that I've specified here on the game itself. Because it is static, I can access it from any other object. So what I'm gonna do to access it is that I'm gonna use this variable that I've created of the object battle game, right? I can call anything from battle game that is public, of course. I can call it using this variable that I've created on the side, game.width. I can access it. Game.height. I can access that, right? And then I'm gonna set a title also. So frame.set title. Okay, we've got game.title because we have title that side. It's a small one. Okay. Again, what I wanna do is I'm gonna show my frame. Like when I run this game, the frame should be visible. I'm gonna explain this thing so that you guys can I don't know, see it visibly. Like, yeah, let me just, okay, here I've got a run game. Like if you want to run your application, you write it here. I mean, you click here, and then if you want to debug it to see if maybe it's gonna run, you can click this debug. So in this case, I'll be working with debug because I'm not done with my game as yet. So if I click debug, let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, you can see that we've got our own window right now. So now in this window, I can minimize it, I can maximize it, but I can't close it right now. Oh, okay, so okay, I can click that one, but it's not terminated. Like if I need to terminate it right now, I'll have to click here to terminate the game itself, right? So I'm gonna write a code whereby when I click that X, the game needs to terminate itself, not just to close the window. So what I'm gonna do is to say frame dot set default close operation, and I wanna call my object to exit. We need to exit the game itself. Exit underscore on close. So if I run my game or debug my game and I click this, you will see that it's terminated, right? So also what I need is, I don't want you guys to be able to maximize, you know, minimize the game. I just wanted, if this is the window, this is gonna be the window like this. It's not gonna be able to maximize it or minimize it. So what I'm gonna do is to call my variable again of jframe, frame dot set resizable equals to false. You guys won't be able to resize it, right? So you can see that that block of maximizing and I don't know what else to say, minimizing or making it a window frame, like it is grayed out right now, like you can't maximize it, you can't do anything. Also what I want is to, for an example, if I run my game, I don't want this location to be here from the corner itself. I want it to be in the middle, right? So what I'm gonna do is to call my frame again and then set location relative to null. Just put it in the middle. I run my game, you see that the window itself is in the middle, right? Okay, what else do I need to do, guys? Okay, again, okay, what you need to know, for example, if you want to uh, maximize this, um, like the width and the height, with like I can go straight to my game where I've defined my height. So what I can do is I can directly amend these values, and then if I run my game, automatically my size is actually amended, right? So let me just take it back to 800 and 600, right? Okay, so I hope you guys are still catching up. And again, what I want to do is to add this code on GitHub. Like if you guys don't know much about GitHub, I can create a tutorial, maybe a lesson on GitHub itself. But for those who know how to use GitHub, I'll try to upload the code itself on GitHub. For example, for that code of Lotto, I've got my Lotto.java here, so you guys can amend it. You guys can do whatever you want, and yeah. The nice thing about GitHub is that I can see the for example, if you're gonna delete something or you're gonna add something, I'll be able to see the differences. So GitHub is like a version control a system or application, like whatever that you guys can change on the main initial commit or the main initial file that I've added, I'll be able to see it. So if you guys have messed up on a code and then you have you uploaded the same, I can be able to revert back to the previous one. Okay, let's go back to our game. Okay, so now the first thing that we're gonna do again is to have an option to start your game and then have an option to stop your game, right? So in order for us to know when to start your game, we need to use our logic here. Like for example, if your game is running, if you have started a game and then you want to start it again, you choose an option to start it again. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Just hold on, guys. Actually, my lady's calling me. Baby? Okay, my love. No, I can't go back. Mm. Ah, you should have to. You can take them. Ah, you know how to. Get that. Then I get to blind. Exhausted. So, only wrong with a million, with a million shop. No, it's not with a million shop. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So, why not so easy? Come on, no. Okay. Mm. Yeah, ne? Yes. Ushapilele. Yeah, yeah, short hair. Oh, man. Mm. Yes, yes. You know, put the blind. Yeah, like, you know, put the blind, yeah? No, okay, it's fine. Mm. Yeah, that's Sonic is fine again. Yeah, blah, blah. The Sonic is fine, so it's so still. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Go. Okay, none of that. Sure. Hi guys, sorry I'm back. Let me see. Public statute. Let me just make it final. Electricity. Hi guys. Actually, I'm creating this code like live without having to practice it or check it if it's gonna work. So some of the stuff will keep on coming back to them, and then we'll fix them. The other ones that I don't understand and what's happening, I'll come back to them. Like this one is telling me that I must change access to static, and I've got my static variables here, so I'm not sure what's happening, but if I get the chance to sit down, I'll just go through that, right? So as I was saying before, we need to create a function or a method to start our game. Let's say our game has not yet started, like you're gonna launch it from the start, right? But now to start your game, you need to make sure that the game is not running at that time. For example, if your game is running and you click start our game, it's not supposed to do anything, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create a variable called running, and then that variable can give us an option to see if maybe the game is running itself or it's not running. So meaning the variable has got only two choices, whether it's running or it's not running. And then in Java, if you're gonna deal with a variable that has only two choices, true or false, you're gonna need a type that is called Boolean. Okay, let me just go back to the code and write it myself. Okay, I'm gonna say Boolean. Let's say is running. For now, let's make it false. Let's say our game is not running, right? But we need to make it like, when we click start, it should be running. It should start running. So again, what I'm gonna need is a thread. A thread is like a process. How do I explain this? It's like it's a process that is gonna be able to handle our game. For an example, if I go to task, just hold on. Can I do? Oh, we've got so many stuff open, guys. Close. Okay, if I go to task manager, here you see we have processes, right? So these processes have got a thread itself that is handling that specific service, right? For example, I've got a thread that is responsible for Firefox. So even in our case, we're gonna need a thread that is responsible for our game. So in this case, I'm gonna create a thread variable, it is called a thread, and I'll name it thread also, right? So now here I've created two variables. The first one is to check if the game is running, and the second one is for the main thread. Okay, guys, in Java, the double forward slashes, this is basically for your own nodes. Like you can create your own nodes, right? So whatever that you write after the double forward slashes is not gonna be recognized as a code itself, like the main code. So you can write whatever you want. Right? Let me just check something else. Okay, I'll come back to that because I just want to make my background to be white so that you guys can see the code. So, okay, I've got the thread itself here, and I've got the variable that is going to check if my game is running. So let's deal with that start method. So the start method or a function, I'm going to start by putting a modifier because it's public. It's going to be accessed to from any class, and I'm going to introduce another keyword that is called synchronize. Public synchronize void. I'll name my method start. So why I've mentioned this name synchronize is that, for an example, I don't want my thread to actually get to, get to hang in terms of if my thread can clash with another thread, right? Like I can have a start method thread here, and I can have a stop method thread, but they're not supposed to run concurrently. Like if I'm running this one, this one should be idle. Let me just put it like that. So I'm gonna use the keyword synchronize. So what's gonna happen if I click the start method? If I select the start method, what I'm gonna check first is that if my game is running, if it's running, if the same is true. Okay, in Java, if you use one equals to, you are actually assigning a value to a variable, right? But if you're gonna use the double equals to, it's like you are checking if the variable equals to the same value that you are giving there. So in this case, I'm checking if it's running equals to true, but by default we know that it's running equals to false, right? So if it happens that the game is running, it equals to true, what we need to do is to just get out of this method, like get out of this function. Don't do anything. But if it's not running, then I want this method to set my running equals to true, and after setting my running, is running, after setting my is running equals to true, I want it to start my thread. So I'll say thread equals to new thread, and then the thread on this game, and I'll name it game thread. So notice it's gonna give me an exception. Okay, it's gonna give me an exception. Why is it gonna give me an exception? Is that a thread like it's a runnable object. Like, I don't know how to explain it, guys. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'll try to explain some of the things when I come back to you guys. So in order to fix this issue, I'll have to implement runnable, and after implementing the runnable, we're gonna need to create another method called run. So what's happening here is that because I'm starting a thread, once I start a thread, and then on this game, automatically the run method is gonna be called. I don't need to call the run method anywhere. Like as soon as you start your game, the run method automatically is gonna run. This is basically what's happening in this case. But we're gonna check it, we're gonna test it, right? And what I wanna do again is to create a stop method. For example, if you wanna stop your game, right? I'll use the same keyword, which is synchronized void. It doesn't return anything. I'll name it stop, and then we're gonna check if the game is not running. If it's running equals to false, then there's nothing to stop there, so just get out of that method, right? But if it's running, we need to set running equals to false, and then we're gonna stop our thread. But our thread, to stop it, we use the method called join. Why am I saying okay? Is running, and then this join, for an example, if you are trying to stop your game and then the thread doesn't stop itself, what's gonna happen? So in Java, the Java is giving us an exception handling whereby we're gonna try to stop the game, but in case if the game is not gonna stop, what needs to happen? So in this case, we have included an exception handling or try catch. So what's going to happen is that once we click the stop method, or we select the stop method, the thread is going to try to join the main thread and then kill it actually. So now if that doesn't happen, we're going to get an error message. This interrupted exception E and E.print stack trace is going to give us a message. Also, we just want to exit our game. So we use system.exit, and you can put any value or argument, but mostly I prefer putting 0 there. I'm not, like, I haven't tried putting 5 or 7 or whatever, but I don't think that matters. Normally we just put 0, right? And then what else do we need? As I've said, guys, that once you select start, the run method is gonna run automatically. So now here I'm gonna talk about the game loop. Like if you click start, then on the run method, we're gonna check if the game is running, and if it's running, we're gonna keep on stop it. If the game is running, okay, we have started a game, or FIFA, whatever, or PES, right? So we have started a game, so it is running. So while it's still running, we need to render or paint. Some used to the keyword render. Render is like to paint the graphics on the JFrame itself, right? We're gonna render, then update. It's like a render, draw something, then update its new location. Like if you're gonna draw a ball, right here, you're gonna update it also to another location, meaning the ball is gonna move here to here, right? So while the game is running, render and update. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a method called render and update, right? And then I'll have to create these methods underneath here, but we're calling them, but we haven't created them yet. sorry, public void render, right? And then we got public void update, right? So now to test this, I'm just gonna call, okay, I'm just gonna print something on my console. I'll just name it ln rendering. And there's one thing that I haven't done, guys. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I haven't checked if my game is running. I just called render and update without having to check if my game is running, right? But we're gonna fix it right now. .println update. Yeah, let me just put it like that. Update. We're just testing right now. Okay. So now, as I've said, like once you click the start method, the run method is gonna run automatically, right? So we need to check if the game is running. So we like, if the game is running, just keep on rendering and updating. If you don't put this to check, there's another option of just doing like this. If you leave it like this, it's like automatically saying it's true, is running equals to true, right? So we're gonna check this. So to check this, we're gonna call our game to start. We're gonna call that start method, right? Game.start, and then we're gonna see what's gonna happen, whether we're gonna be rendering and updating. Debug. Nothing is happening. We need to check that. Nothing, right? So this is a good way to check. Let's go to start. We are supposed to say if it's running equals to true. Yeah, this is right. Then return. And then if it's not, did I do something wrong? Just hold on, guys. This is a live debugging. And then I haven't done this or practiced this, so you guys will have to bear with me. We're gonna check these issues together. Okay, public void. Okay, it's running faster to thread. That's yeah. And the start is there. Public void, yeah. Render and update. While it's running, yeah. Let's see. Okay, let me see if my start method is working itself. System.out.println. This is the thing with programming, guys. Sometimes you need to face this kind of issues and then try to find a solution for it, right? It's not like you're gonna know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. Game is running. Let's see. My method is running, but there must be something wrong in this. I've assigned this to true. Right. Oh, this is the thing, guys. I have created my new variable of a thread, but I haven't started a thread. So that's why my game the run method was not being called, because the start thread is not there, right? So these are the kind of things that you need to know, like when it comes to debugging or troubleshooting. Also, you can't just give up. So if I click this, you see that it's updating and rendering. I'm gonna remove this one here. Check it again. Updating, rendering, updating, rendering. So guys, this is a good thing right now, because when we come back on another episode, we're gonna be actually drawing stuff on the screen itself, on the main screen. So right now we can see that we're gonna be able to update and render or draw stuff itself on the main screen, right? So guys, I want you guys to go through all this code and then understand the logic behind. And then if you have any question, please feel free to let me know on Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube itself, and then I'll come back to you guys. And for other guys who have submitted their requests, I haven't forgotten about you guys. I'm gonna come back to them and I'll create them one by one and upload on YouTube. And also, don't forget that my code will be on GitHub itself, MohauHlomeli on GitHub, and I've got the YouTube repository, YouTube code or YouTube dash code repository. I think I'll put my stuff inside there. Okay, thank you guys, and I hope you're gonna enjoy this series, and then I hope you guys are gonna learn a lot. And yeah, I just wanna say thank you guys for your support.